Candle Magick. So we're going to be going over everything. If you had grabbed a kit, we have that has everything. You can go ahead and grab that paper out. I'll be going over that. And I do have my own little notes so I stay on track. So what we're going to go over tonight is the candle colors, their meanings, candle shapes, sizes, how to use them, when to use them, correspondences, the different herbs and crystals that are in the kit, and how to use them. We're going to go over setting your intention, dressing your candle, personalizing your candle. I'm just going through my notes. Magical timings, candle flames and meanings, wax meanings, candles, spell remains, what to do with those, and a cord cutting ritual at the end. And then you have all your notes that came with the kit too, so you can follow along with me. And I do have some extra stuff that I've added as well. Candle Magick is one of the simplest and easiest forms of magic in my opinion. It works really well for me. It's one of my favorite forms. Candle Magick helps us focus the mind, amplify manifestations, direct your energy, all the things. And just remember that everything in this kit is a tool and you are the power. So your intention, your manifestations, all the things. Had all the chime candles. You had the candle colors and their meanings, and then you had the little sticker that went with it, so you can put it in your grimoire, book of shadows, or whatever. But we'll go through the candle colors real quick and what they mean. White. This one can be used universally. So you can use it for anything, in my opinion. Everything I say tonight is my opinion. So you can do your own thing if you want. That's fine. But this is just to get you started on Candle Magick. So always do your research. So white's for universal things, cleansing, harmony. I actually lit a white candle before I started the live, so that I can get rid of all that anxiety or, you know, any of that energy that I don't want. So if you have like company coming over or anything like that, you can light that candle to cleanse that energy coming in and out of your home as well. Also helps with communication, spirit guides, and angels things. If you don't have a different color candle, you can just use white if you like. So I have blue for sleep, truth, communication, calming, and these are great for meditative practices as well. You've got red for strength, passion, stamina, and protection. You had pink for emotional healing, self-love, romance, compassion, and peace. Green for money, abundance, growth, luck, and goals. And if you are in a different country, your color for abundance and money might be a different color. So whatever calls to you. Yellow is for creativity, learning, focus, and safe travel. Orange for success, confidence, career, justice, memory. That one. Got purple for psychic abilities, spiritual communication, peace, and emotional healing. Thank y'all for sending the hearts. And we have black for protection, banishing, reversals, and hex breaking. So we have those. So I love chime candles. They take about 2 hours. It's my favorite one to do spell work with. But the size of your candle doesn't really equal the power of it. And again, all this is my opinion. So it's the intention that matters. So depending on how much energy you're sending into that candle, whether it's a tea light, a pillar, a 7-day candle, a chime candle, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go over different candle sizes. We're going birthday candles. So I'm trying to show it on both screens. So these are for fast, quick results, great for urgency or simple intentions. So if you need something really quickly, like if you lost your keys or something, boom, birthday candles, they work. Then in your kit, you also had 2 tea light candles. So tea light candles, I like these in the morning in my little salt holder. So tea lights are low maintenance. They're helpful for meditations, bath, ultra lighting, daily intentions, which is what I use them for. You can also do really quick spells with tea light candles. So pillar candles. Now I got this from Dollar General, but you can get these in all different sizes. But these are more for long-term intentions. You can use them for like prosperity, healing, strength, self-love, all the things. And it can be worked repeatedly over days and days and days. So if you have something really big you're trying to accomplish, you can use one of these. These are also great for carving, like your intention, your sigil, or intentions or anything in them. These are really easy to dress them, and we'll go over that in a little while. But you can also do that with chime candles. So that is a pillar candle. You've got taper candles. So these ones you can find basically any store. You can find these ones. But these are more like ceremonial, like they're really beautiful. It's great for if you're working with deities or anything like that. It is a longer burn time, so you can journal, you can speak your intentions, your manifestations, all the things. So you've got those. And then you also have 7-day candles. Slower, steady workings, and it can be loaded and left to work. So, and we'll talk about loading your candle and how to do that in just a minute. And then you have shaped candles. So I have several different shaped candles. So these were handmade by a vendor of mine a long time ago. So you can tell that I have several, but I don't really use shaped candles often. And I don't carry them in store anymore. They are pretty, in my opinion, higher priced. But you can use that. It just brings in another association into your working, if that makes sense. So skulls are for like your mind and stuff like that. You also have body candles. So different body candles representing a male or female. If you're doing like a couple working or something like that, you can have one of those. I have this really pretty one for protection and growth. So it has the lotus. I just can't bring myself to burn this one. But this one is the Hamasa hand with the evil eye. So I would use this for protection. And then if you're working with different moon phases, they have moon phase shaped candles as well. So it just adds another layer of your correspondence. So talking about correspondences. Correspondence is anything that matches or supports your intention. So herbs, crystals, chemical colors, shapes, sizes, timings, they all work together and support the spell. So they don't replace the intention. They just help with the intention, if that makes sense. Like in your kit, if you got a kit, it had some of my favorites. It had roses, jasmine, and I'll go over the meanings in a little while. Chamomile, rosemary. Rosemary is one of my favorites as well, and so is amethyst. And then it had spearmint and lavender as well. It also had different crystals. So you had amethyst. So I love chips for for Candle Magick, because you can easily put them around them and use that later, like in a sachet or whatever. You can use that later. So you've got amethyst for intuition, balance, protection, all the things. You can use it for different things. You've got sodalite for intuition, truth, and emotional balance. You have carnelian for confidence, boosts your energy and helps with creativity as well. And rose quartz for self-love, self-compassion, all the things, inner healing, stuff like that. And so you can use crystals to amplify and focus on the spell's energy. So the lavender that you had in your kit is for calm, peace, sleep, and emotional healing. The rosemary, I feel like, is a universal herb that you can use for several different things, but it's also for protection and cleansing as well. Chamomile is one of those calming ones. Jasmine for intuition, attraction, self-love, stuff like that. And spearmint. So spearmint, this one is for luck, abundance, money, all the things like that. Any kind of mint is good for abundance spells or money spells, stuff like that. So this is where you tell each thing what to do. So if you notice, I said a bunch of different correspondences that they go with for the different crystals. So amethyst is one of those that has several different uses and meanings. So this is where you'll tell each item what to do. You don't have to really say it out loud if you don't want to, but take a moment to think about what you want that crystal or that herb to support you with. So when we do the little rituals at the end of the lives, I do them really quickly. But in my own personal practice, I take a lot more time to set those intentions on the crystals or the herbs themselves as well. So you hold each one, you assign it a job. Like you can say it out loud, you can say it silently, you can say it in your head. It doesn't matter as long as you're having that energy into that corresponding herb or crystal. For example, like lavender, you can say, bring peace and emotional calm. I have peace, or I have peace and I'm calm emotionally, or something like that. And then like rose quartz, you can say, I am loved, I am special, I am kind. You're giving it a job. You're telling it what to do in that working. Amethyst, you could say like, this crystal brings balance and alignment in my life and I am protected. Telling your herbs or crystals or whatever you use in your spell work what to do. All right. So also in the kit you had Palo Santo. This is a really easy cleansing tool. I love it. It smells amazing. It clears your space, it cleanses your tools, all the things, your energy, your home, everything restores peace, calm. Where's my letter? Yeah. Is you would just light your Palo Santo, and it does go out sometimes. It's just what happens. It's fine. But you cleanse all your tools before any working. But like if I'm cleansing my house or bringing in that good energy with a Palo Santo, I'll keep my lighter with me to, keep lighting it. You tell your corresponding herbs, crystals, or whatever you're putting in your spell work, oils, eggshells, anything, what it's supposed to what it's supposed to be doing. So when you're setting your intention, make sure that you are very clear and specific on what you want, right? So Random Mary, learn from me. So I enchant all my jewelry that I wear. And this one in particular, I'm not going to tell you everything, but is moonstone, and it helps get rid of toxic people, right? Problem is that I wasn't emotionally ready to figure out everybody that was toxic. But it did do the job. So that works. So when you're setting your intention, be very clear and specific what you want, when you want it, how you want it, and you're setting it like it's already done. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to comment and let me know. Be very specific about what you want, when you want it. It doesn't matter how long it is, your manifestation. It's fine. You do you. As long as it's, you know, what you want. You're ready. You got this. You cleanse all your tools yourself if you need. Some people do like a whole ritual thing. And the reason I'm more quick, simple, easy, reusable things, all the things, using things over. So like when I do a candle spell and I have my herbs and my crystals and I'll put it in a sachet and I'll go bury it in a plant or something. I do that on purpose because, you know, y'all know I've got a autoimmune disease. Well, a couple. And so I like doing things quick, simple, and easy. I don't do a whole ritual, but you can. So usually I don't have the energy to just get the house ready, get myself ready, do the, you know, you can be eating some Cheetos and do a candle, you know, just set your intention on a white candle and be done. Like, it's fine, you know. But you can, if it gets you more in that state of mind to do your manifestation, to do your spell work, you can wear the same clothes every time. You can use the same like tools every time, like an Acme, which I usually do that. You can cleanse yourself, your house, and all that. For me, if I cleanse my whole house and took a bath, I'd be exhausted. Like, I'd be ready to go to sleep. I wouldn't be ready to send more energy. That's perfect. So what she said was, sometimes mine is like a whole letter to the universe, but I make sure I'm super specific, and that's amazing. Grounding your energy, raising your vibration, all the things. So if you're wanting to do all that, so I do it really quickly. So I'll sit down and I'll take a couple breaths to get in that mindset. And eventually, if you're just starting out, eventually you can get to that part with practice where you're grounding, centering, and raising your vibration at the same, you know. Some people have a specific robe or dress or something like that that they wear just to do rituals or spell work. So like I wear a lot of black, so it's for protection. So I set that intention on the clothing. Yes, it can be very draining at times. So that's why using crystals and herbs and different elements to support you in your working helps. It really helps with that energy. It helps, so you're pulling the energy from all the corresponding elements as well. And if you have more issues with that, you can also light another white candle, or, you know, a white candle to help you with that as well as you're doing your working. Like a supporting candle, not the spell candle, but the supporting candle. Okay, you are specific, you know what you're doing, you've set your intentions on your crystals, your herbs, all your elements that you want to use. And you don't have to use crystals or herbs, and you don't have to use a specific color or something somebody said. Use your intuition. Everything has its different correspondences, but you may have some issue with the color red or something, and it brings up bad memories or something. Just use a different color, it's fine. So you'll hold your candle, you visualize that intention as it's already done. You feel that energy where she was saying raise your vibration. Yes, raise your vibration. Some people clap, some people focus on that energy coming out of them into the candle, which works really well when you continuously do like a 7-day candle, especially if you're quick to just, if you're just tired, you know what I mean? Like, you can set that intention day after day after day and just keep putting that energy into that manifestation. A ritual bath is really good to do before any kind of working as well. A protective circle as well. you know, to get in that headspace, taking a ritual bath is different than a regular bath. So that takes a lot of energy out of me too. So you don't have to. You can wear certain jewelry. You can use certain tools. Like there's a specific tool for like kitchen witchery that I use just for when I'm doing kitchen rituals. So you can do all that, but you don't have to. That's one of the things. You don't have to do. You do you. It's fine. You know. Okay. So personalizing your candle. This is where I was talking about we can use this. So this is a skewer. I also have an athame, but I'm not going to use that right now. So this is where you can personalize your candles. So you can use a skewer. So I'm going to do, so I have the attraction oil that we have, but I'm going to use that with this. Also fire safety, but we'll go over that too. So I'm just using this because it's going to be a big working. So you can create your own sigils. You can find sigils online. You can use different shapes. So you can put, oh, you can't see it. You can put different symbols on there as well. You can put the person's name. You can actually write your whole manifestation on there if you want, especially with these bigger candles. With these ones, they're so quick, I'll just do it like that. So you can do sigils, shapes, person's name, their tag, if you want. So this one in particular is going to be for self-love. So I've got some little hearts. And then you can write your manifestation on the candle itself. You can put it under the candle. You can have it near the candle. I just made a mess. All the things. So you can write names, birthdays, use their tag, use the person's tag log, like their hair, their DNA, the photo, the paper, the address. Like you can put it under the candle, near the candle, behind the candle, in front of the candle, whatever. You can also use tarot cards as well to help you with that working. I forgot to write that down. Okay, so you got your symbols or sigils or whatever on there. And there wasn't an oil that I had that could do a bunch of different things, so that's why I didn't add it into the thing, into the kit. But since this one is for love and self-love, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress the candle with the attraction oil. So you're going to put it, and less is more on this. You don't have to like cover it. You know, oh, that smells amazing. You don't have to cover it completely. So, and then you would bring it towards yourself, right? Because you're bringing something towards you. And if you're banishing or taking something away from you, you would go the opposite way. But for this one in particular, I'm going to bring it towards myself. Right? Yes. That's perfect. Yes. Especially with the 7-day candle, what she said was, I wrote mine on a piece of paper and taped it to my 7-day candle for my house. That's amazing. You can also use a magic marker on the outside of these ones for your sigils or your symbols or your entire affirmation if you want. That's a really great point. Thank you. Yeah, too much oil can cause very large flames. Yes. So less is more. So what I'm going to use for this one in particular, I've already got my oil. I'm going to use the chamomile, jasmine, and roses. And what I'm going to do, instead of putting it on the candle, which you can put your herbs on here and roll your candle in the herbs. But because I like like the fire safety, I'm going to put them around the candle. So I'm just using a white candle. Hey, thank you for joining. So I'm going to go clockwise. I don't know if you can see this. Can y'all see this? I'll show it. So I'm going to go clockwise with my herbs. Since I'm bringing stuff towards me, it's going to look really pretty too. Use chamomile. I'm just showing you all this real quick. So you can put around your candle as well. You don't have to put it on your candle if you have like a chime candle or pillar candle, taper candle. You can put it around it. And I'll show you how to do the 7-day candle too. Because that one, you can put it around it, but you can also put it in it. But if you're dressing your candle completely, like if you're rolling your herbs onto the candle, less is more, y'all. That's how that looks. And I'm going to add some rose quartz as well. So this one in particular for self-love, I'll just have near my bathtub. But that's how it will look. And I'll set my intentions more on it later, but I just wanted to show you that you can put it around your candle as well. Okay, charging your candle, which I said I would do it later, but you're just feeling your energy and directing that energy into that candle every time you light it. Oh, snuffing your candle. That's one thing that is very controversial. Some people say you shouldn't blow out your candles. Some people say that you should snuff it. I like snuffing my spell candles instead of blowing it out. That's just my personal thing. So you can snuff out your candle. I have a candle snuffer. You can, if it has like a lid, you can just snuff it out with the lid and then relight it later. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that if there's been occasions where Ted has blown out a candle of mine and he didn't know. It didn't matter really. It was fun. But I prefer to snuff it out. Okay, so when you're charging your candle, you hold your candle, you visualize your goal, you direct that energy. So sending that energy from yourself to the candle, right? You speak or think your intention clearly. So when I do one, I will say my intention or affirmation over and over and over again. Of course, with telling the crystals what to do, telling the herbs what to do, telling the candle what the manifestation is as well. Let me show y'all. So I've got, oh, it's so pretty. And you allow the candle to burn as needed or safely extinguish it. So with me, I like to allow my candle to go all the way down. That's why I love chime candles so much, is because it only takes about 2 hours. Whereas this one is a larger, more intricate working. I'm going to use this one for a silver love. And I'm going to finish that later. So magical timings. This is kind of like the thing that you can do if you want. It's more, for me, it's more ritualistic. Sometimes I want to do things right then. I'm very squirrel moment sometimes. And if sometimes my energy levels with my autoimmune disease doesn't match up with the moon phases, if that makes sense. But you can if you want to. I have a little sticker that was in your kit. It has your intention, matching your intentions with the phases of the moon. So, if you can see that. The new moon is for new beginnings, a great time for like planting seeds, for new beginnings, for fresh starts. The full moon, of course, is for manifesting, dream work, and psychic abilities. The snow full moon is February, tomorrow. So And working with the moon phases, you can, in my opinion, you can do something 3 days before and 3 days after. So like 3 days before the full moon or 3 days after the full moon. It still works with that, right? So the waning is ideal for banishing, cleansing, and uncrossing, and the waxing is best for attracting things, achieving goals, or preparing for like job interviews and stuff like that. But you do have that. It is a little sticker. It was in the kit. So you can use that. But you can use the days of the weeks as well. Okay, for the sun, creativity, success, self-expression, leadership. Monday for the moon, healing, dreams, psychic work, intuition, emotional well-being for Monday. Tuesday is for Mars, and that is for like courage, protection, psychic work, intuition, motivation. Wednesday is for communication. Learning, travel, commerce, wisdom, automatic writing. You see what I do lives on Wednesdays. Communication, learning, all the things. Thursday is for wealth, abundance, luck, and success. So basically anything a green candle, Thursday. Friday is your pink candle. Friday is for Venus. And it's for love, romance, self-care, friendship, glamour. Glamour magic is good to do on a Friday. And beauty and fertility as well. And then Saturdays are for protection, banishing, transforming like habits, grounding, discipline. Those are is for Saturn. So you're using not only the days of the week, but astrology with that too, if you want to plan your spells around the astrology or the days of the week. And you can also schedule your spells with the time of the day and the season and the planetary correspondences as well. That's just too much for me, but if you have something huge, do the thing if you want to. You've got this. Yeah. I will copy and paste that and put it in the group after. There is, what I really love about Candle Magick as well is that you can kind of see how your spell's working as you're doing it or after. So in your notes, instruction things, it goes over candle flame and wax meanings. So you can observe the flame. I like to sit there and kind of meditate with my candle. That's why I like using those, the chime candles. I like sitting there manifesting with that candle and focusing on that candle as I'm doing it. So you can observe the flame and the wax to gain insight into your spell's progress. A flickering flame, okay. A flickering flame, right? Means like the energy is active, expect change or unpredictability. And I forgot we're gonna load this candle too. A steady flame, clear, stable energy. Things are aligning in your favor of your manifestation. A high, strong flame is strong energy, fast manifestation. A low flame usually means it's something, it's weak or blocked energy and there's more focus needed. A flame going out, the energy is blocked or opposing forces are present. So if my candle, like when I do Candle Magick, I'll turn off like any fans, closed windows, stuff like that, so I can really watch what's happening. So I'll try to have less airflow to move my flame all around and do stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if it goes out, I would suggest doing a whole nother candle. That's just me. I would do a cleansing and a whole nother candle. Of course, that's my opinion, but that's what I would do. So multiple flames can mean conflicting energies, that you may need to clarify your intentions if there's like two flames. Crackling or hissing, that's purifying and cleansing. Dancing flame is the energy building, rapid progress as well. I know I keep looking down, but this screener is bigger than that screen. I've got my iPad and my phone right there. Dancing flame is energy building, rapid progress. And little to no smoke is like a peaceful energy situation progressing smoothly. So with 7-day candles, if there's a lot of black smut build up, you might want to look into that. You know. Okay, and then with these ones, you won't have a lot of wax dripping, but you would with like these kind of candles, you know, or the chime candles or the birthday candles, even taper, any other things that's not in a glass case. So you can look at how the wax is dripping, whether it's coming towards you, away from you, north, east, west, south. I do have that in your instructions as well. Whether it's pulling, dripping one side or the other, clumping or sticking, you know, dripping into the flame. What I really like to do is look for the shapes. So like different shapes around. I usually don't have a lot of wax pull at the bottom, but I always use like a chime candle. So, but different shapes can mean different things. So you might see like a cat or a figure of a person, especially if you're like trying to banish negativity or something like that. You can read the wax around it as well. These candles, like somebody mentioned earlier, you can put your crystals and herbs and everything around it as well, but you can also put it inside your candle. So I would take like a skewer like this and just dig holes into it. And less is more on this, very much so, because you got to be careful with how much of everything you put in so you don't have like a big fiery mess. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants that. We're doing fire safety. So you would put little holes in the candle itself. This is a skewer. You can buy a whole bunch of them at any grocery store. And they're not that expensive. I don't remember how much these are, but I've had them forever. So you can put holes in there and then stuff your ingredients into the candle and pushing it down all the way in there, right? So that's how you do that. So if you have like a chime candle or any other candle that doesn't have, I mean, you can do the same thing, it's fine. So when your spell is complete, you might have stuff left over. And I mentioned it earlier that you can put it in an organza bag and like plant it somewhere. If you're banishing something, it would be away from your home and stuff, maybe at a crossroads or something like that. But if it's for your home, like abundance or love, bringing stuff in, you can have it wherever it's necessary. So if you did like one for sleep, calm, peace, you could put your ingredients into like a sachet and put it next to your bed. If you did a healing for someone else, you can put it in a sachet, you can put it in a paper bag, you can make it into like a little pillow, whatever, and then you can give it to the person. You know, that you can also thank the ingredients and throw it away if you want, especially since we're all stuck at home with the snow and everything. You can just throw it away, thank it, and throw it in the trash. You can bury it on a property, of course. Question. Okay. When you dispose at a crossroads, I know you have to do it away from your home, but do you believe it needs to be at a crossroads that you'll never return to and never look back? Yes, I believe so. In my opinion, if I do something where it has to be at a crossroads where I'm banishing something or something like that, I would not return to the crossroads. I would not go back down that road. So that's just my belief. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. I would not go back to that particular spot. Because you don't want to bring that back to you. You know what I mean? Like, just saying. Okay. Cord cutting. There are several ways that you can do a cord cutting spell. And that's one of those things that, has all over, like, social media and stuff. So if you look up cord cuttings on any social media, like TikTok, for example, I'm just going to use this box to lift so that people can see. Hopefully it'll lift good enough. So in your kit you had 2 different chime candle holders, and the reason I put 2 is in case you need to do like a cord cutting ritual. So you can do cord cuttings in several different ways, but one easy way that has been done over and over and over and has worked for me in the past is the one with 2 candles. So what you would do is you would have a candle for yourself, or if you're doing it for somebody else, for that person, right? I'm just checking to see if there was any comment. Anybody saying anything? Okay. And then you would have one for the other person, situation, something like that. Cord cuttings are for like when you're feeling stuck, if you are emotionally exhausted, if you need to cut cords with a, abusive person or a toxic friend, narcissistic family member, anything. Because in my opinion, we all have energetic cords to people we meet. And sometimes they're not the best for us. So that's what the cord cutting spell is for. So you'll have 2 candles. You can dress them how you want. And you don't have to use, a lot of people use chime candles, but you don't have to. But you can also just do a meditation. But for me, I like being able to see it. And then you have some kind of cord to wrap around it, right? Oh, and under their candle, you would put their tag, their name, birthday, address, something like that. If it's a person, you use their tag on that. So these ones, cord cutting spells can be very emotional. So you want to have some time to yourself when you do this, because it can be very emotional and you don't want to, be interrupted. This is just white string that I have here, but you can use different colors if you want, depending on what you want, right? This will help you reclaim your power as well. So sometimes when you have toxic friends or whatever, they, take a lot of your time, energy, and they can, you know how it is. They can just make you feel like crap. They could have harmed you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, something like that. And then, you still have that connection, so you can cut it, right? But if they actually, if they pose a threat to you, make sure that you're taking the appropriate safety measures if you need to, a restraining order or, something like that. This ritual is not, of course, a substitute for professional protections. Okay, so you have your 2 candles, you have your string. Make sure you have, if you have it, a photo or their tag. So, like I said, find a quiet space and make sure that you have some time to yourself before, during, and after, because this can be a very emotional thing. So what you're going to do is kind of loosely tie the string, right? And then you can wrap it around, depending on how much string you have. I did put a lot of string right here. Oh, make sure that you have it in a fire safe dish as well. And with these, with the cord cutting ritual, I really like to see how it's going. So I will, you know, I always stay with my candles as well. Okay. So the string symbolizes the energetic bond between the two people, or between you and the situation. You will clearly state your intention, right, with this. You can speak from your heart. You can journal while this is happening. Before it, you can visualize that person or situation that you want to cut cords with. So hence the, you know, don't, you know, at least have a couple hours to yourself, you know, for this kind of working. So what you would do is you would light both candles, right? And you let it burn down until it catches the string, right? And as that's happening, it cuts the cord between you, that person, situation, or whatever, right? And you can, here's a little thing you can say if you want to write this down. You can change it. Of course, I would suggest you change some wording in any spell work. But I release you and let you go. May we both be filled with peace and both be free, right? And you can repeat that over and over until, you know, all of the cords catch fire and release. And like I said, there's plenty of this particular spell on like TikTok. You would pay attention to what the wax does, how the cord catches. So like sometimes it'll catch and go to one candle or another, and it will tell you how much, like, this is going to be really painful, or this person isn't going to want to let go, or, you know, something like that. Sometimes it just goes boop and you're done. And you're like, well, thank you, right? You just needed that little bit of extra to help you cut the cord between the person or situation. So yeah, take your time, observe everything. Sometimes I'll set up my phone just to record for 2 hours, and then I'll speed up the video so I can see it in faster motion, which is pretty cool. Prepared because, you know, it can be very emotional. I know I keep saying that, but it really can. It can stir up deep feelings that you thought you didn't have, or memories or something like that. So allow yourself some time and space to process all the emotions that come along with this. And self-care afterwards. So like do something special for yourself. Take yourself out, eat, get your favorite food, light your favorite candle, you know, take a bath, release all that, all the things. So you can say whatever feels right to you as well. You can, you know, use different crystals, incense, oils, all the things. You can even use like an uncrossing oil for that, so you can uncross yourself from the other person, you know. This helps you reclaim your power, energy, and prioritizing yourself. Sometimes it's a form of self-care in itself. Basically, with all the different candles and all the different things, the most important is your intention, what you're wanting to do, to support, you know, and using the tools that you align with to support what you're trying to accomplish, if that makes sense. So you can trust yourself, use your intuition. If you use a spell from somewhere else, like a book or something, I would suggest to like at least change one word, so, you know, it makes it more you. To know, like, what part of this class kind of like helped you the most, or something that you didn't know already, or something that was clarified. What felt most helpful for y'all tonight? Hopefully the whole thing, but you know what I mean, like specifically, was there anything that that really helped you during this class? Also, what would you like to learn next? Would you like, this is a whole thing, and I hope it helped very much so. And I know we do the smaller rituals after the lives on Wednesdays, but was there anything in particular that y'all wanted to dive deep into, like this particular class? Oh, if you enjoyed the class and feel comfortable like leaving your feedback for me, like on Facebook, or if you sign up for the class through the, y'all can leave me a review, even if it's on like the comments or something. I really enjoy learning y'all, seeing y'all's feedback. It really makes me happy. I really appreciate it too. And then it helps other people if they're trying to learn something new to know that maybe they can with me as well. Okay, so if you didn't grab a kit, and if you want to, they're on the thing. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you. Love you. Bye.